King Jesus once more. I'm here today with a very strong message to you, men and women of God, from wherever this will get you from. Najua saa zingine unawaza kuchoka katika Ukristo wako. You just feel exhausted because those you look up to as your role models makes you lose hope. Today I have a message for you, man and woman of God. Don't have a role model as a human being, because human beings change. I may be good today, but tomorrow I'm changed. That's how we are as human beings. There is only one person, not a person, there is only one who was given that ability to be our role model, who is Jesus Christ. Only Jesus Christ should be your role model, and you'll never give up. You'll always look at his life, how he lived in the world, the challenges he went through, the denial, the many times he was denied, the many times he was rejected, the many times he faced temptations and trials, the many times he prayed to God. When he was faced with challenges, what did he do? Let that be your role model. Because if Christ is your role model, you won't even think about giving up. You won't even think about turning back to the sins that you are committing, the sins you repented and rejected. By the time you look at a fellow human being as a role model, I assure you today, so long as one is a human being with flesh and blood, human beings change. But Christ was constant. He never changed. That should be your best role model. That one should be your role model, not a fellow human being. People begin well, but along the way, they change route, they change course. Whatever they used to see as sin now translates into something good. It's not sin. They worshipped God. They led other people towards worshiping God. They now want to be worshipped. They turn into the small gods. That's why a fellow human being should not be a role model. Only Christ should be a role model. Because if a fellow human is your role model and you see him or her changing, that will make you give up. That will make you think a lot. That will make you painful, go through a lot of pain, because what you are seeing is not what you desire, is not what you know, because you are taught on what's good and what's bad. You understand sin and what's not sin. But because human beings change, they now normalize sin. Sin now becomes something normal. Therefore, it is my urge today that you should make Christ your role model. Only Christ should be a role model when it comes to your spiritual life. Don't let any man of God be your role model, because people change. You don't live with them. You don't walk with them every time. They are not with you every time. There is a time they are alone. Do you know what they do? You don't know. Therefore, fellow men and women of God, fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, having a fellow human being as a role model at a times when they change, when they have changed, it will demoralize you. It will make you lose hope. Therefore, don't give up. Don't have a fellow human being for a role model. Have Christ as a role model. And I also want to teach you something today. They are what we call sacrifices. We are urged by men of God to take sacrifices to the churches, the altars. It's good. It is the best thing to do. But altars are as good as the leaders to those altars. If the leadership to those altars changes, the same altar changes. Take this to the bank. If those leaders change negatively, the altars change negatively, because you give what you have. Altars receive power from leaders meant to work on those particular altars. The greatest sacrifice that one can give, the greatest sacrifice that one can ever give to God is fasting. When you fast and you submit yourself before the Lord, that is the best sacrifice that anyone can ever give. Moses, Elijah fasted, and Christ fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. And these are the only people who are able to do miraculous things beyond human understanding. That's why Moses was able to see God's back, sending you a signal that the greatest sacrifice is not the money you take to a spiritual leader. No, it's not the money you take to the altar. It's good to take money to the altars, but people change. How do you know they are changed? How will you notice they are not the same people? But the greatest sacrifice that one can ever give is through fasting. Fasting is the greatest sacrifice that we can ever offer to God. He will listen to you. He will understand your grievances. You will start speaking in the same language, because you have submitted yourself before Him. You have said it's not because of food, it's not because of anything, it's because of you, God. Therefore, do not be lied to. Don't have a fellow human being as a role model. Have Christ as the only role model. Human beings change. No one is constant. People play games with people. People are playing IQ games with people. They begin well, and then they turn away from God and they start playing IQ games. They start playing skits just to show you they are still powerful. Yet there is no power in them. They are pursuing different course. They have decided to do other things. They have changed course. How will you know? That's why spare a time where you'll be alone with God. Alone with God through fasting and prayer. God will listen to you and He will answer your prayers accordingly. Do not be lied to. This is life. Don't have any human being as a role model. Remember, you are alone. In this world made of billions of people, you are alone. You are not with your wife. You are not with your children. You are with your parents. You are alone. Therefore, pursue your spiritual life independently and wholeheartedly. Don't follow any human being. Don't be a person belonging to somebody. Somebody has his own burden to carry, has his own or her own answers to give to Christ. Don't let someone play the role of Christ. Christ is in heaven, He alone to be worshipped. Don't waste your time Don't waste your entire life worshiping idols minus your consent. If you have Christ as your role model, nothing, I bet nothing will go astray. God bless you.